All right, well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So today we got a really exciting video. Today we are going to talk about grade 1 curriculum, and then if you see all these books I have on the side here, I'm doing an Usborne book haul. So if you want to tune in for that video is next. First, product of the day, I'm telling you, oh my goodness. So this is, what I'm showing you on the screen is me wearing this product. So it's just a travel belt, actually, I think is what you call it. So I'm going to show you what's in my travel belt so you can see how much you fit. And the benefits to a travel belt is that your hands are free. Your hands are free, number one, because I had little kids, which is why I bought it, because we were traveling and I need my hands free. I could fit 5 passports in here. So you can fit quite a bit of stuff, and it's around your waist and it's under your clothes so you don't see it. The sweatshirt I have on, I kind of shrunk it, so that's why. So let's see what we got in here. So if you go to amusement parks, one thing I want to tell you, if you go to amusement parks, then you have your hands free. Well, you're like, well, wait, I bring a bottle of water. That's fine. You can carry that in your backpack. And that way, if anyone takes your backpack or you lose your backpack or you lose your purse, not a big deal because all your important stuff is in here. Okay, and you don't have to dig around your backpack when you go to pay for something. Now, I got my cell phone in here. Normally, I just keep it in my pocket though. But I just want to show you how much stuff you can fit. This is actually what I carry in my case right now. So I have a mask because some places still require it here. I have these pills. They are just for a bladder emergency because I'm prone to chronic UTIs. So when you're out and about, if I need something, I take that and it gets rid of it. Now down here is where I put money and keys. Money and keys in the first pocket. In the second pocket, if you look there, I have emergency medicines. I carry some like Loratadine, Claritin, whatever you call it, just in case someone has an allergic situation to something. And then I got a whole bunch of cards here. So it's still got plenty of room, even with these 2 things in it. I mean, it's still got plenty of room in there to keep more stuff. And any bills I have, like any dollar bills or whatever you call them, money, currency, I keep them in that pocket as well. So I'm telling you, it's life-changing. If you have a camera, like if you take the GoPro places and you want to, you have your hands free because you can put the batteries in here, you can put an extra charger cord, you can put your earphones in here. I mean, you can put so much stuff in here. It's amazing that your hands are then free to play with your kids, to do whatever you want. I get it, a backpack as well, but again, you might lose the backpack. Or what if you get out of the car and you're like, hey, I don't need to take my purse with me because I got my travel belt. All I need is my wallet. I'm just running in. So you can put your purse under your seat so no one sees it, and out you go. Now let's talk about some of the products that I'm going to show you today. I'm going to do a flip through of everything. There's no particular order for this. This is just amazing curriculum. Okay, so let's talk about some books. If you science curriculum, this is the Sapphire Science Adventures. You can start kindergarten, grade 1. You decide when your child is ready, if you wanted to, right? So this is an option for read-alouds. I love read-alouds because you're learning a topic and you're not taking a lot of time to do it. So Sassafras Science Adventure, you don't need the curriculum for this. It goes through zoology, geology. I think they have one for astronomy. They got 5 different read-alongs. And basically in this one, the kids, they go to different countries all over the world studying different things about zoology and about biology because they failed summer school. So that is what they have to do. Next up, human body theater. I love human body theater. Act 1, the skeleton system. Act 2, the muscular system. So let me just show you a bit about it. I think you're really going to like this. So cells. So this is about a skeleton, and he's putting on a play, and he's showing you stuff about the play. And then Act 2, when it goes to Act 2, what does he do? Act 1, starring bones, and then Act 2, he puts on a costume of the skeletal system. So again, another winner. This is my favorite history curriculum. Where is the small book? That's the big book. I want to show you the small book. Over here. Okay, so this is Curiosity Chronicles. Now, it's secular, so let me tell you if anything's going to upset you if you are not secular. The only thing that I can think of is that they tell you in the beginning, they're not intending to be secular, they're just not focusing, I don't know how to say it, except they're open to, they discuss every religion in here as it comes about in life. In history, so it's just a snapshot into history. That's what it's called. It gives you more information if you want more information, but kids of this age cannot retain information, so that's why they do it this way. And the only other thing that you might find upsetting is that they talk about CE. They say CE is interchangeable with AD. So AD, Anno Domini, in the year of our Lord, is Latin, and CE is Common Era. So BCE, before Common Era, and CE is Common Era. era. So they explain that to you. And that's, I mean, I love it. So let me explain to you how it works. So chapter 1, so they don't talk about, they only talk about humans. They don't, you're not going to read anything about the start of the world or evolution or anything. If you don't agree with that, you don't have to worry about that. It's not covered in here. The only thing is it starts with humans. Okay, so now Ted reads and Mona reads. Now Mona's is bigger, so the adult can read Mona, and Ted, if your child's able to, they can read Ted. So Ted's done shorter and Mona's done longer. Anyway, so it's just snapshots of it. So it tells you, I guess they hit the big events is what you will. They hit the big events. Mesopotamia starts farming. So here they talk about the tools they used to hunt mammoths. We were reading it this morning. This is what we read. We've been reading it in bed in the morning. So my children come in every morning and we read books in bed. And so when it's just my older child, when he gets up first, one of my older children, we start with this, and you can knock out a chapter because the chapters are short. They're only a couple pages. So this book is the snapshots of history. You can also print it off yourself and get the PDFs, but like, look how nice this is. So I would recommend these books. And then here it does snapshots of medieval history. I just wanted to try 2 of them, but I'm going to go and order the 3rd one as well. And then we go, into, so it does ancient history, medieval history, and of course, then it does like the modern era, if you will. This is a maps book. I showed you another book that I really, really love in the kindergarten set, in the kindergarten video. But this is the maps book. Now listen, if you don't want to pay the $50 or $60 to get the new one, you don't have to. You can get, this is an older used one, or get the older versions. It's still amazing. The only thing they changed in the newer ones is they had like more countries. Like you'll have Estonia in the new one, you'll have like maybe Vietnam, or they'll cover some of the smaller countries that like Tanzania that they didn't cover in the other book. So that's the only difference. So then whatever page you go to, so Europe. Now it's written by a Polish couple. One's a teacher and one's an artist. So they just do amazing work. So this is Iceland, and it's got like the big things, the big points about Iceland, right? It's got the capital, Reykjavik, the language, Icelandic, population, and stuff like that. So Norway. So it's just almost like a snapshot of this. Now, I don't want to go into a ton of books today. I'm not doing this in order, but because there's so many books I love. But this book, so Molecules, these books are amazing. This is from my favorite science curriculum, but not part of it. This is additionally, you can get this if you want. I ordered them all. They're $12 a book. So what are clouds, frogs, and the moon made of? Atoms. Everything is made of atoms. So it's doing a review because there's a book on atoms. So it's very simple. So review atoms. Okay, so it talks about atoms, and then it says molecules can be small, like salt, water, and methane. Salt molecule, water molecule. So it really goes into this book. I swear to you, this line taught me about atoms. Like finally, first time in my life, I understood atoms. So this is the chemistry line. So it has the physical science, the life science, the earth science, which leads me, when I get there, to my favorite science curriculum. Usborne, World of Animals. I haven't used this book, but I wanted to give you a preview because a lot of curriculums refer to it. So I just wanted to give you like a little flip through. But really, I mean, I think it's nice. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good book. I just don't know that it's necessary. Like if you, I don't know, unless you really love animals and your curriculum requires it. Or maybe you just want to read one a day, but it's just not for me. This is another book that people love that they used to teach in their homeschools. Again, it's not really for me, but that's just personal preference because I don't like, I know it's going to sound not nice, I don't like drawings. I like the actual pictures. To me, just because we can see so many cool things. Of course, obviously it's still a drawing of the earth. No one knows that the core is in there. That's another thing when I teach my kids about theory. So, but when you're reading science, science changes so much and they come up with new information so often. So other theories that you thought were ridiculous could be proven in the future. So what I teach my kids is this is what we know now. So for example, there's a core in the center of the earth. That's a theory. Now theories can, because no one's been there. No one's been to the center of the earth, but they got all the stuff saying that there's a core in the earth. Okay, that may never be disproven, but they may eventually get the technology to go into the earth, all the way to the center of the earth and discover, I don't know, it's water. Who knows? But all I'm saying is I try not to be so arrogant about science that I think that what they've discovered is the end all be all. No, that's not necessarily true. It's what they know right now. Because they're always discovering new humans, so that's why dates and books sometimes are not like humans started and da-da-da-da-da. Well, the problem is they've now discovered more humans. So things like that. Anyway, so it's beautiful. It's a beautiful book. So if that is your thing and you are into that, you go for it. You grab this book. The Loose Landscape Painting. I mean, it's a great book. Chapter 2, What's Up? So the atmosphere. Okay, so very cool. Again, I just like actual pictures. And as far as geology goes, we have the Good and the Beautiful geology, and I think I've done previous for it. All the Usborne, all the Magic School Bus books and the TV show, I like the older one better than the new one, teach a ton of information. My kids love them about just any topic, which I'm sure you've heard of. You can get them all at the library, and you don't have to read it all. So when they were little, I only read this. I didn't read all like the sayings. But now my son's always like, what do they say? What do they say? So now I have to read it all, but we're not at the stage where I read those yet. I kind of skip them. Mainly, I don't know why. It's just a lot of reading. Sometimes I read them, sometimes I don't. Now remember, science changes, so some of that information, I'm sure it's accurate. They got one of the best evolution books I've ever seen about how people evolve. Oh, that's my Usborne stuff. All right, next up. You probably started in kindergarten. This is your first book, Letters and Numbers for Me. Letters and numbers. So it teaches you, you don't need the teacher manual. I guess there is one. I haven't seen it, but you apparently, it doesn't seem to me like you need it. So teacher demonstrates, child copies. Name, add grass. So you're kind of getting them used to using a pencil, right? And then they're starting with the F. So the frog jumps. So starting corner, big line, jump, little line, little line. So, you know, it's one of those things where I'd be like 1 page a day. Everybody's got to do 1 page a day. And I put it on their list of stuff to do. And then this is the printing book, so more practice. More practice. I like it because it's $12 a book. Like, you can't go wrong as far as I'm concerned with that. These are more of that line I talked about. This is the chemistry line. What is chemistry? This is from the people that created my favorite science curriculum. But that is also personal preference because I don't like busy work. All right. What else we got here? A Children's Introduction to Art. I love it. I think it's great. I kind of like the older version better, but I mean, still the same, still great. So it shows you a bit. So it tells you about the painting, shows you the painting, tells you about the painting, and then shows you how to recreate certain modalities. I don't know, certain things from the painting. So when it covers a variety of different, you know, I went there to where the Mona Lisa is and I couldn't find it. Isn't that like can you believe that? I honestly couldn't find it. I also went, it's in Paris. And when I went there, it was not how I thought it would be. I also like to hit up the Sistine Chapel, but I don't know if it will. It's not how I thought it would be. Like when you go into, I can't even remember what it's called at the moment, but when you go in there, you're there with 10,000 other people. There's no air conditioning, and it's very confusing. It looks like when you look at the maps, you're like, oh, first floor, second floor, third floor. No, it's up and down, up and down, up and down, like stairs, like crazy. So here again, blue is the ocean, tells you, you know, just again, helping you recreate some images in here. It also goes to the modern ages too as well. So this is something you could do, honestly, when they're eating sometimes. What I do is I have different books I leave on the table and I open up to a page and I'm like, okay, here, especially my child who has ODD, ADHD, that's the perfect time to be like, hey guys, check this out and give them a little rundown. I already talked about getting them interested in classical music and what I did. Okay, so let me talk about, there's 2 different curriculums that I love, 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 love. If you want a free curriculum, The Good and the Beautiful is good and it's beautiful. This, however, is Mastery. So Mastery is a different type of curriculum. Okay, now I compared 3 curriculums before and I got a couple thumbs down in the video. I think it's because I didn't do it justice, but I don't know. So this is Math Mammoth. Now you don't have to do, this is the review. So you're doing a review here because it starts in grade 1. Okay, now, pardon, my son has apraxia, so motor planning, one of my sons, so motor planning is not the easiest. I guess the preview. Now look, no prep, but they do have helpful resources, they got videos. So this is a Mastery curriculum. which means you learn one topic until you learn it, and then you go on to the next topic. In school, they're taught spiral. Now, what's interesting is this can also be used as a spiral because you do not, like when you get up, see all these equations, you do not have to complete all of them, so you can leave like the last 2 or 4 on every page and then go back and review them at the end of a chapter or at the end of I guess whenever you want, at the end of the book. You can go back and review it all, so making it a little more spiral, if you will. But I really like it. I find it easier to teach this, but again, there's no prep. You just sit down. And my one son, when he did this in kindergarten, he was doing it, it was like, you did 1 page a day. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's very simple, very easy. It's the same price. There's 2 books, and it comes with the teacher's thing. It's the same price as Math with Confidence. This is the 1st grade. So I went back, I switched my kids from this, but I might still do that, I'm not sure, because I haven't really started. We started the grade 1 a little bit. Now this is only one component. Here that is worksheet based. This is games place. We're talking 10 minutes with your kid. We're not talking a ton of time. And they do 1 worksheet a day. Okay, so they do 1 worksheet a day. This is like review. They do 1 worksheet a day. So it's not, it's not a worksheet based. So when you look at that and you're like, oh, it's not very full. Yeah, because you're not supposed to. This is review. Lesson 1.2, review and comparing numbers. Okay, so we're getting to, so then these are some of the games you would play. Have your child count how many cookies in each pile and then place the corresponding number next to each pile. Who has more cookies? How do you know? Who has fewer cookies? If the child has trouble identifying which number is greater, have them line up the counters in 2 equally spaced lines to check. Okay, so this is like a review. So these are the activities go, and this is like war, you're playing materials. 2 sets of number cards, 0 through 10, and whoever wins the most cards, right? You shuffle the decks, and whoever gets, you each put a deck down, I think whoever gets it. So review counting. So let's go to the new stuff. Enrichment and view, that's, okay. 5 and some more on the 10 frame. Now we start 10 frames in kindergarten, so they always do a warm-up, and they always do a few like simple games that do not require a lot of prep. It has what you say in dark, so you can keep your book open. I mean, I really think it's a really great curriculum. Really great. This is the Adams book I talked about. Are clouds made of candy? No, are frogs made of slime? No, everything's made of atoms. So I mean, as it taught me, atoms are like little building blocks and they can link together. All right, my favorite science curriculum. The building, and I'm telling you, I bought them all. I bought a ton of them. Second is, I think the Life Odyssey is the one I like second place. I like this because there's no busy work. There's no busy work. Look what we're covering, people. We're covering chemistry. We are covering biology, physics, geology, and astronomy. So we're covering the main 5 areas. What is science? So it's very big print. So there's not a lot of, it's essentially, if your kids are into literacy and being read to, you can start with this. The experiments though, the experiments are really great because they really do, it's made by a homeschool mom, and they really do use items that you have in your kitchen. Now there's no busy work here. You're learning what the scientific method is. It follows a certain steps. It's called, there's observations. Oh, that's my bookmark because I couldn't find my paper clips. Okay, and then it goes into what is chemistry. So the scientific method, I'll show you this. So it talks about how we conduct experiments, why we do it, what we do with the results, and things like that. So it's no busy work. You're straight to the point of what is chemistry, the history of chemistry, modern chemistry, and then things like that. So that is why I love it. It comes with midterms and final exams. You don't have to use them if you don't want. You pay extra for them. I got them because I love the study booklet. The study booklet I think is super cool. So this is another one of my favorites right here, which is the Real Science Odyssey. So this curriculum will be 162 if you're not printing it off and you're getting everything, all right, a year. They also have one, say your child's older, it goes all the way up to high school, but say your child's older and you want them to do a review, they have, it's called Focus On. They got a set of books where they focus on, all the five big areas. So this is super cool because I bought this book used. Now, I think it's kind of pricey. I think it's normally like $100. But what I love is it doesn't have a lot of busy work either. It teaches you stuff right away. All living things take in energy. They get rid of the waste. They move, although some plants move very slowly. They grow, they can reproduce or make babies, and they have some type of circulation and respiration, and they respond to things that are around them. So it's very to the point, and I just love that. Also, there's only the one book. Like, I didn't see a teacher's manual, but again, I bought this used, but I did go on their website to research, and it does seem like a pretty pricey curriculum as well. So this is the laboratory notebook that comes with it for the first curriculum. So, and what I love is that it has pictures so you can draw. If they are not at writing age, they can draw. Okay, and lastly, I got a couple of books that some curriculums love to throw in, and this one, the DK Find Out Earth, is very good, but the Usborne books are very good too. And I'll show you them in the Usborne book haul video that I'm filming next. Okay, water, ocean. So it touches on a bunch of areas. This is I haven't even cracked the cover. The Usborne's Children's Encyclopedia. It was required for some stuff, but of course it's good because it's Usborne. How do plants grow? Fungi, how your body works. Your body, organs. So it's one of those things that, when we're reading a bunch of books, we can just flip to, when we're reading a bunch of, picture books or whatever, we can just flip to some of them. Speaking of which, before I forget, talking about history, another great history that they have an audio for now, but you can start in grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 is and I can't remember. Well, I'll put it on a screen, but it's a very good book, and it has the child waking up in the book in different areas, different time periods, and what their life is like in different time periods, and what they experience in different time periods. But it is very secular, so if that bothers you, do not get it. It is very secular. Okay, the Usborne Encyclopedia, an alternative to that one that I'm talking about is The Story of Our World, which I haven't read, so I can't talk about it because I haven't read it, but I have it. The Hunters of Ice Age, it's another good book, right? There's a ton of good books out there. The Tool Makers. So this is all about humans, mammals, reptiles. So history, so I assume it has evolution in it. I don't really know. Don't know, but so you may want to skip that one if that's not your thing. I'm going to put them on the Usborne thing to talk about with the Usborne book haul. All right, that is it for curriculum. I think I mentioned it all. I hope so. All right, I hope you have a great day.
Please like and subscribe.
Yes.
And hit the bell for notifications.